If you want an affordable electric car, or at least the most popular Tesla Model 3, then you need to put in your order very, very soon. In fact, you've got about 2 weeks. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm the Electric Viking. Great to see you. Thank you for tuning in. My name's Sam Evans. I'm coming to you from Bangkok in Thailand. What? Strange, hey? Yeah, I'm here because my wife's getting cancer treatments. Stage 4 cancer, big shock, very surprised about all that. If you want to know more about it, I'll put a link in the description to our GoFundMe page. Thank you to the 4,200 people who have donated. I just cannot say enough of how grateful I truly am that you put me in a position to be able to get her the best treatment, which is making a very real difference, no question. It's not like the money's just going and it's been wasted. The tumours have decreased by just over 50%. And some of them have disappeared entirely. The feds have announced more stringent electric vehicle tax credit rules. A lot of this is driven by Joe Manchin. Of course, he's saying he's going to sue them if they don't go ahead with his plan. This is pretty much his plan. So, is it good? Is it bad? Well, I think you all know what I think. It's good and bad. I agree with it. I don't agree with all this negotiation between Japan and South Korea and Europe to try and scale back these. I think the US needs to stick with it. They need to stay the course. And I've been saying this since way before they even announced this discussion. As soon as I started this channel, I said this needed to happen. This was when the feds, or at least the federal government, was punishing Tesla and General Motors eventually. They weren't allowed the tax credit. Other competition was allowed it. Well, the Model 3 will get it for, it's kind of embarrassing to say this, isn't it? It'll get it for about 4 months, less than that. 3.5 months. The base model Model 3 will get $7,500 tax credit. Now, as of the 18th of April, if you buy it, or at least if you purchase after that date, you won't get the $7,500. You'll get $3,750. It's still something. It's just like, hey, you might as well get the full discount if you can. So if you're considering getting one of these, go do it now. Now, the Tesla Model Y, it doesn't use batteries from CATL. Not now, not at least at the moment anyway. I'm talking the US model here, not the international model. The international model does use batteries from BYD and CATL. So the Model Y, don't have to worry about that. You can buy it later on. It makes really no difference in the United States. The US Treasury Department has released its long-awaited battery production and mineral sourcing set of requirements. All the media says it's very confusing. New York Times is saying they're struggling to make sense of it. But it's part of the Inflation Reduction Act, and it will take effect on the 18th of April. It determines which new electric vehicles qualify for the full $7,500 tax credit. The guidelines are confusing. I'll try to make a bit of sense of them here for you without going into too much detail and boring the absolute hell out of you. Beginning on the 18th of April, the $7,500 credit will be split into 2 parts. The first part, or the $3,750 first part, is: does the battery meet requirements for components being produced in North America? The second half is for critical minerals that come from the US and or its free trade partners, such as Mexico and Canada, possibly soon, maybe Japan and South Korea, hopefully not though. The credit will require 40% of the value of a battery's critical minerals to be extracted or processed in the US or a free trade agreement country, or for materials that have been recycled in North America. So obviously, in the future, post 2030, most batteries will be using recycled materials. Most batteries that are made in the US will be using recycled materials. By then, there'll be a lot of recycled materials to use. But before then, well, right now, the majority of the lithium in the world, the refined lithium, in fact, more than 80% of it comes from, you guessed it, China. So this is going to be a big challenge for automakers. And this is how it works. By 2027, the final year of annual increases in the changes, the percentage must be 80%. So the battery percentage being sourced from America and partners, Mexico and Canada, has to be 80%. Now, it further requires 50% of the value of components to be produced or assembled in North America. By 2029, it will require 100%. Basically, by 2029, if you want to qualify, assuming that it hasn't been changed by a new government, 100% of the battery has to be made in North America, sourced in North America, everything from North America. Now, like the minerals requirement, the latter will also see annual increases. Starting next year, EVs whose batteries consist of any components that are manufactured by a foreign entity of concern, such as China, will not be eligible for the full credit, which means the Tesla Model 3 base model, the cheapest version, only gets the 3,750 credit. The requirement will take effect in 2025 for battery minerals. A separate list of a foreign entity of concern will be released at a later date. It's kind of like, who are the people that America doesn't like? You're on that list. You're on the list. Another source of confusion is which vehicles will now qualify. As of the 29th of March, a total of 39 vehicles, including the Bolt EV and the Bolt EUV Tesla Model 3 and Genesis electrified GV70, are included in the IRS list of eligible vehicles. Now, the reason that list is so short is because, well, a lot of EVs sold in the US are not made in the US or Canada or Mexico. They're made outside of there. They're made in Europe, or they're made in South Korea. Hyundai and Kia, all of their EVs, none of them are made in the US. Many of the EVs sold from European companies are made in the US. So yeah, you can see why Germany is pissed about all this. South Korean government has been railing and ranting. The Japanese, well, they haven't really said anything because they don't make any EVs anyway. So yeah. So these rules, though, they could change because the rules for battery minerals and processing are up for negotiation right now because the US government is in discussions with Japan and the European Union. It's like a little chess game they're playing, trying to see, hey, we'll give you this if you give us this. We'll give you that if you give us that. So that's what they're doing right now. That's why this could change. I don't like the fact that there's all these changes and negotiations. I think make a rule, stick with it, make it simple for people to understand. Now, vehicles that qualify, which may or may not have before, after there's been some weird changes, are the Cadillac Lyriq, the Ford Mustang Mach-E, the Ford Escape plug-in hybrid, the Tesla Model Y, and the Volkswagen ID.4. Now, other versions of the Model 3 will still continue to qualify for the full credit. So does the Chevrolet Bolt and the Bolt EUV. But, I mean, all these changes are confusing and difficult to understand. As soon as I find out more info on which vehicles will or won't qualify in future or as of the 18th of April, I will let you know. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.